Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial I wanted to show you a stitch, a very easy stitch, 2 rows repeat, for those of you that you want to do, for example, a scarf. So this is one of the sides, this one is the other side. So the edges are okay. So if you want to make a scarf, make sure, and you want to attach tassels, make sure that you work on the back of the chain. Yeah. For this scarf, well, if you choose to do a scarf, you're gonna need some yarn. It's you choose. This one it's soft type, and it says it's mint green, and it's asking that I should use the crochet hook between 3.0 and 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. But I chose to go up one number, so instead of using 3.5 I used 4.5 millimeter crochet hook for this scarf. I think for this, with working with this stitch, depends how wide you want the scarf and how long you want the scarf. I will suggest you have at least 240 grams of yarn, and you will be okay, even if you want to attach tassels, yeah, at the end. So this is the stitch. It's really nice for a scarf because the edges are really nice and straight. So I think it's nice to do this, to work with this stitch. Well, the stitch is somewhat reversible, yeah. So this is the other side. So you choose how long and how wide you want the scarf. For this, like I said, you're gonna need yarn, crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and you're good to go. Okay, this stitch, very easy, 2 rows repeat. We're gonna chain even numbers. So I have here, I'm gonna do a small sample, I have 14 chains, yeah. Like I said, it's best if you work, the chain looks like this when you cast the chain. Work on the back of the chain and you will have these bumps, yeah. What we're gonna do, we're gonna skip the first chain and into the second. So I'm gonna flip this, I'm gonna work into the bump, yeah. And we're gonna do single crochet in each stitch or chain. So you have these bumps. So when you work through the bump, you're gonna have only one strain of yarn working through the bumps. Well, this stitch might eat some yarn. For a scarf, I think 240 grams of yarn, it's not that much, but if you choose to do like a cardigan or something like a blanket, well, this one is gonna eat a lot. And so make sure that you have. And I think for a baby blanket with this stitch, it's nice to work with a soft yarn and go with I'm using now acrylic yarn, so whatever you might take in consideration that if you work with the crochet hook that the yarn recommends, working with this stitch is gonna, the end product is gonna be somewhat stiff, a little bit rigid. That's why I said go with at least one number bigger than the crochet hook, than the yarn recommends. Okay, we're gonna chain one, turn your work, and we're gonna do one more row of single crochet in each stitch. So the first stitch is here, we're gonna go in there and do a single crochet. We're gonna move to the next stitch, single crochet, and so on. In each stitch, single crochet. And one row of single crochet in each stitch is gonna be one of the 2 rows that we're gonna repeat with this stitch. So this stitch has only 2 rows repeat, in which one it's single crochet in each stitch. Okay, the last stitch at the end, I'm gonna go in there and do a single crochet, chain one, turn your work, So you, for example, I chain 14, I skip the first chain into the second chain from the hook, I did the single crochet. So we're gonna have odd numbers of stitches. Yeah, you start with even numbers and you finish with the, now I have 13 stitches instead of 14. Yeah. So into the first stitch here, we're gonna do a single crochet. This is how you're gonna finish each row. Yarn over the hook. The next stitch we're gonna go below to the first row. Yeah, right here, underneath this row, and you're gonna start pulling up loops. So once, twice, and a third time. If you like the puff to be bigger, then you go as many times as you like. Then we're gonna pull the yarn through all the loops, not the last one. Yeah. Yarn over and pull the yarn to the last two. Into the next stitch we're gonna do a single crochet. So this is how we're gonna do, we're gonna alternate. So this is one of the rows that you're gonna repeat. Now the next stitch, again, we're gonna go below, right here, right there, and we're gonna pull up loops. So once, twice, and the third time. Pull the yarn through the first loops, then the last two, and then the next one we're gonna do in the next stitch single crochet. Move to the next stitch, you're gonna go below. So once, twice, and the third time. So you're gonna have like what, 2, 4, 6 loops. So you're gonna pull the loop through the first 6 loops, then pull the yarn to the last 2 loops, and the next one is going into the next stitch single crochet, and we're gonna alternate like this. Move to the next stitch, you go below, and you do a puff. The next stitch single crochet through the stitch. Next stitch we're gonna go below, next stitch single crochet. So we have 2 stitches left, 1, 2. The next stitch we're gonna go below, and we're gonna do a puff right there into this space, and we're gonna do a puff. Pull the yarn through the first 6 loops, pull the yarn to the last 2. Into the last stitch single crochet. So we started with single crochet, we're gonna finish with single crochet in the last stitch. It's gonna look like this. So this is the other side. Okay, now we're gonna chain 1, and we're gonna repeat the row with the single crochet in each stitch. So the first stitch is here, I'm gonna go in there, single crochet. Next stitch, single crochet. Single crochet in each stitch. So you're gonna have 1 single crochet stitch and 1 puff stitch that you're gonna put in each single crochet. And these are the rows that you're gonna repeat with this stitch. It's very easy, goes really fast and builds fast, especially for a scarf or a blanket. If you are to use chunky or thick yarn, it's gonna be building really, really fast. So the last stitch here, single crochet, chain 1, turn your work. So the first stitch, single crochet, yarn over the hook. The next we're gonna go, you see the space here underneath this row of single crochet, we're gonna go is this space. It's very easy, you have enough space to go there. So you're gonna go and do a puff. Pull the yarn to the first 6 loops, pull the yarn to the last 2. The next stitch, single crochet. Next stitch, you're gonna go below this space here. Yeah. You can see the space is quite big. And I'm gonna do a puff. next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, we go below, and we're gonna do right underneath the first row of single crochet, and we're gonna do a puff, next stitch, single crochet, and so on. It's a very easy stitch. The puffs will be on top of each other, and the single crochets also. Next, we're gonna do a puff. Like I said, you can make the puffs thicker or thinner, the way you like. So we have last 2 stitches here. So the next one is the puff. Go underneath the row with the single crochet and do a puff, and you're gonna be left with 1 stitch in which you're gonna do a single crochet in there. You're gonna chain 1, turn your work, and now you're gonna repeat the row with a single crochet in each stitch. So the first stitch is here, single crochet, move to the next stitch, single crochet, and so on. And then you're gonna repeat the row with a single crochet and puffs. I think for a warm blanket or a warm scarf or even hat, you can use this stitch. Just keep in mind, depends on the size of the project. With this stitch is gonna take a lot of yarn. So the last stitch is here in the corner there, single crochet, chain 1, and you're gonna repeat. It looks like this. So in the first stitch here, you're gonna do a single crochet, and you're gonna go below this right there, and you're gonna do a puff, and so on. Single crochet into the next stitch, a puff underneath the row, the stitch, single crochet, next single crochet, then a puff, and you're gonna alternate like this. It's very easy. Yeah, I think to do this, a blanket with this stitch, oof, unless you have some yarn, that a lot of yarn that you want to get rid of, and you just use this stitch. Next stitch, single crochet, and we have 2 stitches left. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna go to the underneath the row of single crochet, underneath the stitch, and do a puff, and the last stitch at the end, single crochet. That's why the edges will be nice. Yeah, the ends here, it looks like this, and this is the other side. Somewhat this might be a little bit fluffy, the loops one side, and this is the side that looks a little bit neat and somewhat organized, the loops tighter. Well, give it a try. You might like to work with the stitch for some project. Just give it a try. Yeah. Well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.